welcome to new Mango video. I'm playing Death and Taxes in Modern. This deck, surprisingly, arrived top 8, 7th place on Saturday, and the same person, 11th place on Sunday. It's a very good record out of a tournament, of over 100 players, back to back, very good performance. So today I figured to try their deck out. Alright, so it's a 32 lands Yorion deck. That's a pretty standard at this point. That Death and Taxes plays Yorion. It does the same in Legacy. Of course, in Legacy, your power level is going to be higher. But you have most of the same cards. You have Stoneforge Mystic, you have Thalia, you have Skyclave Apparition, you have Flickerwisp, you have Solitude. And you don't have a Recruiter of the Guard. That's actually a big deal because Recruiter of the Guard gets Solitude and you can like blink it with Yorion and stuff like that. But you do have Archon of Emeria, which is a card that I've actually played in Vintage last weekend. Very good in Standard, very good in Vintage. Doesn't see that much play Modern, but curious to try it out today. There's also one copy of Lion Sash. This is the Scavenging Ooze that you can tutor up with Stoneforge Mystic. There's also 4 Leonin Arbiter. This is a 2-mana 2/2 that makes the fetches less powerful. So if your opponent wants to fetch, you have to pay 2. But not only that, it also works with your Field of Ruin and Ghost Quarter. Because if you Field of Ruin your opponent land, they have to spend 2 mana to get their land. And the same thing works with Ghost Quarter. And with same thing works with Path to Exile. So that's the goal. This deck doesn't play Prismatic Ending, it's a mono-white deck, so we're playing with March of the Otherworldly Light, for Vial, for Giver of Runes, and for Ephemerate. This of course works very well with Solitude, but also with Flickerwisp, Skyclave Apparition, and stuff like that. No copies of Esper Sentinel. A couple of useful land in Cave, Eiganjo Castle, Eiganjo Seat of Empire, Castle Ardenvale, and 4 copies of Emeria Call. This is the 7-mana make 2 Angel, or just a gold land, you can call it. Tectonic Edge and a Sea of Plains. In the sideboard, there's a good card as well in these days. That's Drannith Magistrate. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I consistently play against Cascade decks every time, over and over. It's one of the strongest deck and definitely most popular deck in Modern. 4 copies of Drannith Magistrate to stop your opponent from casting spells from anywhere other than their hands. You have then, of course, Burrenton Forge-Tender, a couple of Sanctifier, and 3 Rest in Pepegas. Let's go to the game. Other League. There's also Affinity that top 8'd the college, but that's for another time. Now let's go into Death and Taxes. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, 0 Esper Sentinel is definitely an interesting choice. Because Esper Sentinel, well, it's proved to be a good card, especially on the play. Maybe in 80 cards, you're less likely to start with it, so it's less good. Morning, okay, we found an opponent. Vamos. Vámonos. We don't find an opponent. Okay, there it is. Nitox. I'm on the play with Tiny Yorion in the sideboard. What do I have here? Hydra Complete is not good to have in hand. I think I don't like this hand. I'm gonna request a mulligan. This is slightly better. I have 2 lands. GL. I certainly want to keep this curve. I think I'm gonna bottom Solitude here. Your dog heard Vamonos and thought she was going for a walk? Ah. No, sorry, dog. Not the time. Thank you, Jobs. Appreciate it. Play a land, tapped, and then it's your turn, opponent. 32 lands in an 80 card deck means basically 24 in a normal deck. Which is a lot. which is a lot. A very big lot. Alright, Godless Shrine tapped. That's good. Good morning, Mizia. Thank you for the 5th month. Bonjour, bonjour. Alright, we're playing Leonin Arbiter. And now my opponent fetches, gets worse. Attack. And then I'll play Archon. That's my 2-3 curve with prison elements that hopefully is gonna prison my opponent. Rodrigo. 5th month. Thank you. Thank you to you too. Couple of 5th monther today, huh? What do you think about the humans deck? It's humans. It is humans. Alright, castle tapped. I like it. I like it. That's that top lands. Ooh. Alright, let's keep on attacking here. I think I'm just gonna get back Yorion here instead of playing sword. And keep on playing top lands. And next turn I can either play sword or Yorion. Of course Yorion does nothing here, but I'll back to my mulligan. Go turn left. Yeah, opponent might be Pox. Yeah. Did I try Pox with the new Obnixilis? No, Obnixilis is not a good card. It's a shame because I thought it was a great card. And I bought a couple of them in paper. Oh, a Margrave, and they break. What? So, in case you didn't know, you probably didn't, the way you play around Leonin Arbiter is that you have to pay the tax before. Normally in Magic, you think that, I don't know, I play a spell, as per Sentinel Trigger, I pay 1. But if you read Leonin Arbiter, it's not written like that. It's written. Players can search their libraries, period. So if you cast a card, you just can't search it. But any player may pay 2 to ignore this effect. But you have to ignore it first. It's not intuitive. It's really not intuitive. Like, this card gets everyone at the first time. Alright. Let's play sword. And keep the Leonin Arbiter. And attack for 8. This card gets everyone, trust me. How do you ignore an MTGO? You have to click on it first. So first you click on it, and then you play the Margrave. Alright! Leonin Arbiter got the first game! Opponent would have put a Archon of Emeria Cruelty in the graveyard, and then would have reanimated now. Last turn I would have put in graveyard, now reanimated. Yeah, I would have probably lost. I don't know. But we got there. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in Sanctifier, Resting Pepegas, a Path to Exile. Drannith Magistrate doesn't stop the Archon. Yeah, MTGO Zoomers need to learn the hard way. No, but like, I think everyone in the world made that mistake the first time, and then like you try to learn, but like the first time you get got by the Leonin Arbiter of Magic Online. It's just mandatory. It's just mandatory. Skyclave Apparition seems maybe not great if their plan is to reanimate the thing. But can take out Batterskull. At the end of the day, I'm gonna probably pick up Lion Sash if I draw Stoneforge. Hey. Vamos. Okay. Let's go. Did you know that this card was banned up until like, what, 4 years ago? 3 years ago? Once again, poor dog. Yeah, poor dog. Okay, my hand's at 4/2 drops, so the Thoughtseize does nothing. This is why Thoughtseize. This is why I don't like Thoughtseize in Magic in general. Because so often the case is like this: you Thoughtseize, and their hand is 4/2 drop, and then the Thoughtseize is basically card disadvantage. I mean, I know it's not card disadvantage, but like, sure, you take the best out of my options, but I have 3 other to choose from, and I will play for the rest of the game. It's not intuitive to think that Thoughtseize isn't good. Oh wow, it's that deck, huh? Okay, sure. Aether Vial right on time. What now? Someone's gonna expedition map for Urborg. Oh, I just get Kaldra, I think. Where can you find this list? Exclamation mark deck, and then you click on the Carbro Live link. You think of this card as a removal proactive. It's not a removal. Your opponent doesn't spend mana, you do. Your opponent doesn't spend time in casting the card. Like, obviously, if your opponent keeps a 5-land 2 spell hand, Thoughtseize is great. But in Magic, usually, you tend to keep, like... I mean, I'm not here to explain why Thoughtseize is not amazing card. It's obviously a good card. It's just that, I don't know, the good decks at the moment don't play Thoughtseize. They used to, when Lurrus was a thing. They used to. And it's not because Thoughtseize was better positioned. It was just because Lurrus was a great card and black decks were good, and now they aren't. So my thought is just mostly a general thought. It's not necessarily now in modern. Anyway, opponent has... So Kabaka first does nothing now. Like, straight up, it's not a land. They clearly just drew a land for turn. Brutality. You discard my Ephemerate. Discarding Persist. Okay. Sure. Let's see if I draw a land. I would love to. I don't. I keep on going Stoneforge Mystic here. I wish I draw a... Really wish I'd drawn a Skyclave, but I don't even have it in my deck, nor the 3rd land. What format do I like the most? I like to play Magic in general. If I have to answer the question, it's Modern, but Paper Magic is great. I love to play any format. Okay. Drew a land. It's actually not a bad one at all. I think I'm going towards the Urborg now. Rather than going for the... where is it? Kaldra Compleat. I decide to first make so that my opponent doesn't go well with the Urborg. And I decide to take the Urborg because Kabad Coffers, his card is... I guess they have another niche map. I'm not even sure if that was the right choice. That's the same. Maybe I should have just gone for Kaldra there. Thoughtseize was once good, not that many powerful cards. True. Cards, I mean, Modern, Legacy, always had good cards. Bad deck. Oh wow, they go for a top. 4/5 mana Golos. Yeah! I really need the Leonin Arbiter in this matchup. What's my favorite card? Yeah, all this like general question, I never have a right answer. I mean, I have a prepared answer. That's Teferi here, Dominaria, but I don't really believe in. It's like when you were a child, what's your favorite color? What type of music do you listen to? You know, those type of questions. I never fit in those questions. Alright, I think I'm gonna concede. Good game though. Let's play another game. March can exile the map. Maybe the path to exile is good at killing Golos. What about Ephemerate? No, Ephemerate. Maybe Ephemerate isn't very good, huh? Yeah. Is Drannith Magistrate good because of Golos? I mean, sure. I keep not having enough lands. What's wrong with this? It's like I play so few lands. Can I just, for a sec, so I played 32. Sorry, I want to do a math equation right now. 72 sta 80 con x. Eh? It's like I play 24 lands. I literally never draw my lands. What's going on? Oh, a couple. Okay. Keep. Hey, what do I bottom here? Do I even want the vial? Do I want the vial? The run? Because I could no, I want to keep the vial. Yeah. I think I'll do this. Yeah, because on turn 3, I can vial in a 2-drop and put into play a Kaldra. Do you think Grace and Zenith could be banned in Modern? I think, oh, cool. I'm gonna play. I was going to play Stoneforge Mystic because the Arbiter stops the Arbiter stops the Stoneforge, but they have a map in play, so I have to play Leonin Arbiter, stop the map. And next turn, I can just pay the tax of Leonin Arbiter. That's actually kind of awkward because if I pay the tax, then they surge. We'll see. Because obviously I can do this anytime. So if opponent taps any land, I can do the thing. We'll see. Yeah, Roundslot. I think I like my decks. I like my decks in for the PT. Alright, so now I just attack for 2 and pass. If they didn't play map, I would have gone turn 2 Stoneforge, turn 3 Violet, and cast Leonin Arbiter. When's the PT? Friday. Take Yorion? No, I don't want to take Yorion. I have to pay for Leonin Arbiter tax and Violin Stoneforge. Historic and Standard. Yes, Historic and Standard are the PT formats. Standard? There's, I don't know. There's very few decks that were good. Whereas Historic, it was surprisingly exciting. I really thought Historic wasn't going to be exciting. Okay, so opponent now is kind of tricky, right? Because if I pay for the Leonin Arbiter tax, then they can search with the map. Eh? Wait, really? No. No, that's how it works. You have to pay as well? Really? I mean, if you say so, I trust you. Oh yeah, and your Grant is ignoring this effect. Wow, but it's written players can't search the library. I thought it was like... I thought for sure it was... Okay, cool to know. Yeah, let's go. Let's pick up the Kaldra and let's go to town. Vial goes up. Oh, yeah. Plenty of 3-drops. Here we go. Whoop, whoop. Psh, psh. Yeah, for that player to ignore that effect. Oh, I didn't read this properly then. I thought any player may pay 2 life to ignore this effect. Okay then, let's go. That was good to know, thank you. Alright, my opponent only has 2 lands. Kabak offers doesn't add mana. So they take a lot of damage here. I am casting this Eiganjo. I can't cast the Solitude eventually. Yeah, sorry. Will I be playing as a Phoenix in Historic like we expect? I will not reveal my decks until the round number 1 of the tournament. Is a Phoenix was definitely a great choice. Ledger Shredder, amazing card. Amazing card in every format. Multi-format staple. Unlicensed Hearse and Ledger Shredder are... Whoa, you just naturally add it? Must be. Must be. And they clearly drawn it, because they went turn to this. Okay. Not open deck list, it is on Friday. Ledger Shredder is great. Bonjour, bonjour. Okay, they have 5 mana. Hope they play... Oh no, vabbè, come Domination. It's okay, this is indestructible. Damnation. Is better than Codex Shredder. Am I going to tick up the vial? I think so. I think so. If I draw a 3-drop, I can cast it. Whereas if I never draw land, I can never cast Yorion and Solitude. Alright, let's attack with my Kaldra Compleat. Now, do I want to keep up mana or get back Yorion? I think I'll keep up mana. Okay, cast Solitude, I can make a token. Bone Shredder? What's that card? Second couple of coffers. This card is not legendary. It's not legendary. They stack with each other very well. 5 mana. 8 mana. Is that a Grizzle Dead? Is that an Archon of Emeria? Sorry, Archon of Cruelty. Okay. Ability on the stack. I cast La Solitudine. Exile. You gain 9 life this turn. And I sacrifice La Solitudine. One is on 13. They had a nice boost of life here. Gaining 9 is a big deal. Hello, hello, hello. Aether Vial goes up to 5. For my Yorion friend. Draw. Planes. Okay. I'll play it. And I get back my bird that I can violin. I'm actually very close to move this Kaldra. And I can just... No, actually, if I play another... I feel like they have 6 cards. I feel like I'm gonna lose this game. We're mulligan to 5 this game. We're doing pretty well for a mulligan to 5 against an opponent. I guess they didn't do that much, so... But turn 5, Archon of Cruelty is not... Sacrifice the token, because this turn you could have violated the Yorion and gotten the Germ. You are right. Yeah, you are right. I should have probably sacrificed the token. But I would have missed full of damage. But I would have had an extra token. Yeah. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. The game is open. They get a lot of mana. 6. They have what, 12 mana there? Yep, they have 12 mana. They go to 10 mana. See what they do. Should have kept a land for a secret for a second Archon. Ah, do you think so? Yeah, maybe. Oh, Starless Pilgrim. They pick up a tap land. Yeah, I would have been able to Flicker Solitude. That's true. Yeah, I just didn't think about the fact that my Yorion could have blinked the draw. Alright, so they get a tap land here. And then what? They have 8 mana once again. Oh, they can flip the top 3 with Golos and Cascading Cataracts. Wow, that must mean their hand is not very good. Invoke Despair. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. If they can, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Then repeat this process for enchantment and a planeswalker. Okay, so I just let this resolve, lose my creature, and they drain me. No, sorry, they draw 2 cards. Okay. This plays around with Yorion to blink it. Moritur 1. Thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome. Okay. I think if I draw land, I win the game because I move the Kaldra on the Yorion. If I don't, they will untap. But they have to chum block, eh? So I have to Violin the Yorion in second main phase. Otherwise, if I Violin in end of step, bad. The rare use of second main phase. So that I can get the Kaldra at the end of the turn so I can attack with it next turn. Okay, need to draw land now. The 7th land for the win. Draw. Ah, terra tappata de merda. Bad. So yesterday I was like, yesterday I was like, this card is like 3 tickets each, and it's probably terrible. I'm never gonna use it. Should I buy it? And then I'm like, come on, Mango, don't be the classic, you know, cheap that didn't want to buy a card. Just buy the card. All right, okay, it's just 6 tickets. It's fine. And then it's worse than a basic planes. How bad does that feel? When you're a land that you put in your deck, it's worse than a basic planes. The bar of basic planes can't. Like, the threshold is like literally the lowest you can think of. A basic planes. Alright, so that with both, they have to chum block. Then I play a tap land and pass. Here 4. They have 6 mana and literally infinite mana. Literally infinite mana. Yeah, they can cast Emrakul now. One Wesper Sentinel. I net decked a list that went 7th and 11th, so if they had Esper Sentinel, I would have played Esper Sentinel. The reason why I think it's that you play 80 cards, and that card is mostly only good on turn 1. Sure. Looks like they are activating Golos using the No, no. Okay, yes, they are doing hitting Cataract. Not easy. It's not easy. Okay, they activate Golos, plays Brick, get 3 lands, get Collective Brutality, Fatal Push, and the basic Swamp. I do that now. I revealed. Okay. This doesn't do anything. I think we got this. I think Pepengu got this. Yeah, honestly, the fact that a Kaldra Compleat survived the damnation was the key in this game. Because when your opponent plan to deal with creatures is to have a damnation, and your creature does... Okay, Bloodshift Thirst. Ah. Depends what they have. I'm still lethal here. With my Cave of the Frosty D. And my token. That's 4 damage. It depends what they have, if they have anything else. They have like Radiant Fountain in the deck. Okay, that's another goal loss, but it's legendary, so they have to choose one. What's the opponent playing? It's called Blacktron. It used to be popular at some point when Spike was playing Modern. I was playing a lot of Modern and invented this deck. I guess he didn't invent it, but he definitely popularized it. To be from a streamer, sorry, a player called Trellon, I think. He's the one who invented it. Okay, I make a token here. And then we have lethal. Draw. Build a ruin, whatever. Let's go cave. And attack with all. Let's go cave. Boom. Don't have anything, please. Don't have anything, please. No. 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 Thank you, Boss NJ, for the 7th month. You were watching old Pro Tour videos and you saw me very often. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, old Pro Tours. That's the good time. That was good. Did we feel the ruin first? My thought was that if they somehow, I don't know, make this ability fizzle, I don't have 5 mana to activate my land. They have Expedition map. If they want to get Urborg, they get Urborg. Wow, they said GG and they died. Nice. I guess they didn't have it. That's good. Alright, this first match lasted a long time, but we got there. Do I think Legacy will ever be a main event? Of course not. Legacy? Do you see how much the card worth? They're popularizing Pioneer because Modern is too expensive. Imagine Legacy. Rotor coming back? Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close. Alright, let's go. Whoop, whoop. On the draw, we got our tiny Yorion revealed. We got lands? Wow, 3 lands? That's a record. Z Magnus with a Prime sub. A lot of subs today. Thank you so much for the support. Okay, Mountain Go. That means burn? Explore. Oh, that's Balakut. Haha, nice. I got my Leonin Arbiter then. I wish I was in the play, can I say that? Shuttered thing, yes. And then I'll play Leonin Arbiter. Because they play like Search for Tomorrow, Sakura Tribe Elder, and so on and so forth. Even if I can't protect it right now from a bolt, I still want to go Leonin Arbiter first. Dryad, okay. So you have a land. Now they can even play fetch land. Oh, Dwarven Mine. So they're playing the creativity featuring the Titan. Yeah, I mean their start was very good, and mine is fine. We can still win this game, man. Hello, Crystal Fight, yes. Okay. Okay. Now I play Ghost Scorcher. What do I want to do? Probably nothing, right? Yeah. Because I can pay the tax of Leonin Arbiter, so I can't do much. Creativity with Dread in the deck. Or maybe they don't play creativity, they just play Dwarven Mine. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that's true. You don't like Scape Shift? Yeah. I mean, it used to be a good deck in the past. Now it's fine deck. A fine deck. Okay, they attack me for 2 here. I'll take it. Oh, they don't attack me. Okay, now what do I do? I certainly violate the Stoneforge. Question is if I want to Field of Ruin some lands. No, I guess players can't search the libraries, so yeah, I think I just have to just violent Stoneforge. And that's it. Yeah. Ephemerate resets the tax if the opponent pays on Arbiter. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. So if opponent pays 2 mana for the Arbiter and plays like a Search for Tomorrow, you can Ephemerate the Arbiter and then they have to pay the tax again. I did not know that. Alright, so I put Stoneforge in and I go get Kaldra. And it's not worth to do Ephemerate here, I think. So this goes to 3. Draw. My land's a little bit clunky here, unfortunately. Let me violin the Kaldra. And attack. You 3 to your first league. I pass. And then at the beginning of my opponent's upkeep, in their opponent, my opponent's turn, I'll violin the Archon. And now they can only play 1 spell per turn, and their lane come to play tapped. Yeah, Leonin Arbiter is hard to use. They paid 2 mana. Are they paying the tax? No, they play Explore, sure. Oh wow, they just breaking hard. They have 3 cards in it. What do they even have? I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess they played 1 spell. That's it. Archon of Emeria. This goes up. Yeah. Let me attack in the air. These guys. That's 7 damage. Now let me think about what can I do. I really have a lot of Ghost Quarter effects, but my opponent has a lot of Mountain. So if the Cascade Shift, I guess I can shut him off of green mana. Not really, because they're Dryad. Alright, I think I have a play. My play is to Path to Exile the Dryad. Then I can pay the tax, and then I can double Ghost Quarter. The green mana. They do not have 3 green. Right? I'm on 17, unfortunately, though, so I die to Escape Shift. Maybe I just do that in their turn, though. So they have to spend mana in their turn for the Arbiter. And they get the land tapped. Maybe I just don't do anything, to be honest. Yeah, I don't do anything here. I pass. I don't do anything. Titan is fine. The problem is Escape Shift. You can't respond to this effect. That's true. Sorry, this doesn't use a stack. They go Wish. Wow, that's your only spell, though. You can cast another spell. That's fine. That's not. Oh, they get Valakut? That's smart. Okay, so how many lands you have there? Could we say? So even if I path this, they still kill my. Alright, I guess I Ephemerate it. Yeah. I Ephemerate this, and I think they lose now. Because they can't cast another spell. So the Valakut fizzle, and they pass. Oh, they have another land to make. I forgot about that. I guess I should have first destroyed the Valakut. Manculato. Yep, I can't stop what's going on right now. Because even if I kill the Valakut, the trigger is already on the stack. So what I should have done... Killing the Dryad makes the trigger fizzle. That's not true. They have a billion mounting. No, I think I don't have a way, unfortunately, now to save myself. Or rather, to kill my opponent. Yeah, what I should have done was path the Dryad first. I couldn't have done it. Oh, I should have Ghost Quartered the Valakut first. I just forgot about the second land drop. I forgot about the second land drop. Alright, yep, that's it. That's it. You got me. Okay. End step. Now, I could Ghost Quarter the Valakut if I want to. I guess I can do that anytime. Yeah. Just tapping here. What to do with my Ephemerate? Because with my Ephemerate, I can link the Stoneforge. But then I have to pay 2. It's not easy, this game. It's not as easy as it seems. I can pay 2. I think I'm just better off not doing anything. So now, actually, I'm going to get a sword in my hand. think it's worth it. Trample, right? I think it's worth it. Is it worth it? I'm sorry. It's a easy. It's not. I don't think the sword is needed. I don't think I need a sword right now. Yeah, I'm just letting it go. I'm just letting it go. I won't even pay to. This goes to 5. Draw. Field of Ruin. Oh. Did I have lethal if I didn't use the Ephemerate? No, I didn't. I just chumped the Leonin Arbiter at 6 damage. Okay, what do I do then? I simply attack with my Germ. I guess I could path the Dryad. Okay, let's do this. First, I Ghost Quarter the Valakut. At this point, I don't think I can beat Scapeshift anymore. So let's do first Ghost Quarter the Valakut. And then I'll path the Dryad, and then I'll attack with all. They'll, whatever. Chump the Leonin Arbiter, take 5, go to 2. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, they're paying the tax. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they get the mountain. I could have passed my own Arbiter to do the thing. And then I top the Kaland. It wasn't lethal though, right? Because I just blocked with the Dryad. Okay, so we path the Dryad. Then I attack with these two guys. Of course, I shouldn't have blinked this. It would have been a 1 instead of a 2, but that's fine. Yeah, I didn't think about the line of pathing my own Leonin Arbiter there. But I don't think it was lethal. Maybe it was not a bad choice. Yeah, so they go to 2, and I think I pass with my 2 Ghost Quarter up. Right? Yep. Here you go. Hard game. I'm having an hard time trying to piece together, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can play around Scapeshift at this point. Valakut on the other hand, yeah, for sure. I think we blend this game well. Opponent, could have been at 1 life. Here, I could have returned Yorion. I didn't do that because I have 2 Ghost Quarter up in case they, I don't know, play some Valakuts and then play some lands. Okay, there. No, do you have Scapeshift? Oh, Summoner's Pact. Yeah, if I had an Archon in play, they couldn't have gone Summoner's Pact for Titan. But I didn't have white, unfortunately. Yeah, but what does Titan even do now? Oh, they play a land first. So in theory, they can... They already played a land. What if I Ghost Quarter the Skull in Tarn in response to this Titan? Yeah, I think it's good. Actually, I'm going to use Field of Ruin just because it costs more mana. I don't get the land, but that's fine. But I get Dwarven Mine, that's true. They have another Dwarven Mine. There's no window to react. You have to activate first, the Leonin Arbiter. Hello, Luxon. It's a hard game. It's a hard game. I think we're playing fine. It's a difficult game. I only have 1 planes, which is a little bit awkward. But they already made a land drop. They can't make more land drops. I was gonna, yeah. So with Titan now, oh, they got another Dwarven Mine. Yeah, that's annoying. That's fine. If I had to attack with all, they couldn't have fetched here, which is a big deal. Anyway, let's see, Titan. Well, they can't get 2 Valakut. Maybe they can get Valakut Mountain, and then it goes quarter to Valakut as well. Sure. Valakut and Mountain. Okay. I don't have a window. The Valakut shoots even if I kill Valakut on the stack. They kill Leonin Arbiter. Rest in peace. And it's my turn. Yeah, draw. While stays there. Kaldra Compleat is just... Okay. What if I Solitude the dwarf token? They go to 2. And they still don't die? Come on! Die! If I Solitude the dwarf token, they go to 2, then they have to chump block. That's okay, right? Solitude the dwarf token, and then they have to chump block this. Oh, they concede. It wasn't lethal, though. They could have top decked Escape Shift. Yeah, we missed the 1 life 2 times. It's okay, we got there. Whew. This was a sweat. 15 minutes on my clock. I spent so much time for this game. Alright, I have to take a bathroom break. This game was long. Be back in a minute. Okay. Sideboard. Path. Let's take out March. Anything that's actually bad. Lion Sash is pretty bad. Maybe Burrenton Forge-Tender is going to be good. Let's go! Game number 2 with Death and Taxes. Just pressing, is that the first time that you see a Kaldra Compleat? Alright, we got 2 lands, and we got a Dream. I'm drawing a 3rd one. You wonder about Urza Saga in this deck. Yep. No Urza Saga. We don't like gemstone mines. We leave the gemstone mines to other players. Okay, search for tomorrow. Go Vial. Pass. Look at my opponent just fetching freely. This wouldn't have happened if I was in the play. Oh wow. They're really fetching a lot of cards over there. And I once again have to go to 17, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. We have to play Leonin Arbiter. Opponent will pay the tax in upkeep. And tutor up another card. So despite all my efforts, they still have 5 mana on turn 2. You wanna bold this. I'm protecting it. I am protecting the Leonin Arbiter right now with my vial. Yeah, Mengucci draws the basic planes. How many basic planes in this deck? 4? I think it's limited to 4, right? Honestly, that's one of the flaws of the Death and Taxes players. They hate basic planes so much that we try to play literally Eiganjo Castle than basic planes. Although thankfully in this format there's no wasteland, so you can't get too much punished. In Legacy, basic planes is even better than it looks. Look at that, Eiganjo Castle. It's fine, it's a planes. But it's just not a planes, you know what I mean? Alright, yeah, let's attack, and I guess I could attack Edge. This, maybe, that is worth it. Yeah, right? Go to Tech Edge, the Dwarven Mine. I could flicker with the token, but doesn't seem like a great play. Yeah, let's go Tech Edge on this land. We want to do an upkeep? No, it's fine here. Alright, you go. Tech Edge was the land destruction before Field of Ruin came up. With Forge-Tender, if you don't name anything with Forge-Tender, you target the source that's dealing damage. 3 mana. What's that? I just do my classic question, microphone check. Does the microphone sounds good? Do you hear any background noise? Do you only hear my voice? Do you hear my voice cleanly? Brandon Ticks. Wow, that's a good card. I didn't expect it. Sounds good. Thank you, Pauper's Burst. Pauper's Burst. I want to play Pauper after this match. Dread the Elysian Grove. Ah, okay. Sure. And unfortunately, I don't have a priority, so I'll just play another land after this. But, yeah. Not only the land distraction plan is off, I also now gave them an extra token. They have 1 card in hand. I think I wanna, attack the Bryn. They block, and then I flicker with one of the tokens. I shoot the Dynamic Opportunity? No, it's just if you check my past videos, you'll find my opponent's deck. Just go YouTube, Mengucci, Titan Shift, Valakut, I don't know. But I've played that deck. It plays Dwarven Mine as a value land. Here you go. Could have Field of Ruin as a Stone Rain, but they're Brandon Ticks. I guess they're gonna kill my Flickerwisp now. I'll Ephemerate it, I guess. Yeah, because you have so much mountains and so much fetch lands that you like to have access to this. Every game I've played today is so long. It's like been an hour. I played two, not even finished 2 matches. Hmm. Yeah, we have 4 Path to Exile in our deck. What the? Okay, there's 2. Oh, they play a Wish. Sure. I guess they get Balakut. Oh, Pyroclasm. But they... Pyroclasm. Okay. I respect the cut. It's going fine. It's going fine. I think I'm gonna lose this game, but before this game, we've had some wins. Did I lost? Did I lose a match? Previous, did I lose a game for this game? I don't remember. Ren is the worst enemy of all the Taxes players. That's true. Both make sure that you have enough lands and kills your X1s. Look, I just want to concede. I understand that I might still have a game, but it's just that this league is getting too long. We gotta cut it down a little bit. All right, on the play, I like to bring in Thalia. I think I cut Ephemerate. It just doesn't look very good. Why not saving the creatures? Oh, no, you want to save the lion? Oh. Alright, let's go. On the play, Bird Serpent. Planes don't exist in our deck. That's fine. It may just seem steerable? No way. It's fine. Ephemerate the Flickerwisp. Sure. Could have done that. Mountain. So this means probably Lightning Bolt. I play Thalia, I play around Lightning Bolt. That's cool. If I get Stoneforge Mystic, I kind of want to have Ephemerate up. Sakura Tribe Elder. Okay. Of course, I don't have Ephemerate up. Now. I can simply... Because the Ephemerate costs 2 mana. Drawing Vial on turn 2? Of course. I mean, if you play 80 cards in your deck, Vial is most likely a liability. Your opening hand will have less likely Vial, and your... I don't know, feels like if you're playing Yorion, you should probably give up on Vial. I guess they're good together. No, it's true, they're good together with Yorion. But, you know, Vial's always a card you need to play on turn 1, and Yorion reduces that. Okay, so I could either play Archon, or I can play Stoneforge. The problem is that it just kills Stoneforge, and I can't protect it. So I think I'd rather play Archon and just attack a bit more. Remember, Thalia makes so that my 2 1-drop costs 2 mana now. Basic lands. Is that Ranentix? Rentic's killing Thalia is annoying, although that means I can kill the Ren with Archon. Okay, 2 mana Bolt on the Archon, that's fine. Hey, I'm gonna cast a Stoneforge now. I don't really have better choices, I think. And they now can bolt the Stoneforge and I can't save it. It's what it is. This deck feels like it plays 0 lands. I don't know how it's possible. It's like we're playing 24 lands in a normal deck, and I just never have the lands. Yep. And save it. Super Sedge. Brick. I've played this card once in Commander and it bricked. Did I leave up mana? No, whatever. Let's just do the thing. I was supposed to take out Batterskull as well. Batterskull seems pretty poor. Guess I hope I don't draw it. Alright, if I had to make changes to this deck, I would literally cut 4 random cards and add 4 basic planes. I'm not even joking. How many lands does Legacy Yorion Taxes play? Is it 32 or 36? I just refuse to believe it's 32. It's 33. 33 it is. But they have Timeless Dragon. So it's time 34. I'm on a Summoner spot. But alright. Okay. Round number 4 on the play against onlylands.com. They probably are not a Death and Taxes player. I got a very good end. Let's go. Very good end here. We got Giver of Runes to protect Stoneforge. I'm on the play. Let's go. Or tribal? True. 4 creatures in it, none of them are humans. Ooh, affinity. Interested to know how's this matchup. I don't have any Kataki in my sideboard. I used to play them. That I remember. I decided to take Batterskull here. I think that deck actually comes to a race with Cranial Plating, so I might need to life gain. See if they go Cranial. Okay. See if they have a Mox Opal to equip. They don't, thankfully. They pass because the Giver of Runes can give this protection from coil or less. I'm gonna go Scorcher the Urza Saga 100%. It will have a basic land in their deck. But so be it. Yeah, I certainly have to do this. And pass. If I had Kaldra, one of would have gone to 5, but yeah, I could have played Arbiter to not give them the basic island, but I think I prefer having a Batterskull in play. Remember to not give your germ a protection from colorless. I didn't think about it. Thank you. Yep. 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 Porca merda. I'm not gonna win, probably. Directly on the cryoplating. Pass. Farwell. Shatterstorm. Yeah, Archon of Emeria would have been useful. Alright, they have a full house of Sojourner's Companion and Ornithopter. And a Mirror Enforcer. I wish they had more Ornithopter. Am I dead on board? Most likely. I draw a Flickerwisp to reset the Batterskull, maybe. Okay, so we don't have to protect this from colorless. That's important. Dai, opponent, ma porca merda, ma at least don't slow roll me. I know that you're probably playing 17 Qs at the same time, but... Don't also slow roll me. Okay. Huh, well. Alright. Block. 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 And I take 8, gain 4. If I don't block this, so this two cancel each other, and this way I take 8. Yeah, I have to unfortunately chump a block. I chump a block with this or with that? I guess I'll block with this. And this way I take only 4. I guess I can rather, yeah, I'd rather lose this. Okay, if I draw Flickerwisp, I don't know. Yep, Flickerwisp maybe. Better go Batterskull instead of the Kaldra, but it didn't really matter. Okay, no. No Kataki. Yeah, I don't really have a side. Nah, I think I keep Ephemerate. You can just go off with Solitude Ephemerate. I think it's cool. I'll do it. What's the out there? I honestly thought there wasn't any out, but maybe if I Flickerwisp my Batterskull, I survive again to draw another Flickerwisp. You like Lion Sash? I just really dislike this card. But I guess it's better than Thalia. Natalia. Lifelink? Why Lifelink? It doesn't have Lifelink. Oh, you mean with Batterskull? Oh, okay. Lekaguma for the 16. Thank you, Lekaguma. Welcome. Welcome. Alright, isn't this medium? Ready to be rolled over by Affinity. Tomorrow we'll be playing Affinity. I was already thinking about it, and after seeing this first game, I'm like, I want to take what that person got. It's not strange for a deck to not have attack in the sideboard. Again, the deck list I net decked went 7th and 11th in 2 challenges on Saturday and Sunday. It's probably the right way to build this deck. Opponent is killing all my will to play Magic today. Not that they had that much already, and the fact that they're taking 1 minute every choices is I mean, nothing against you personally, probably bad connect. Which is since I'm gonna probably get rolled over soon. Oh, this is an artifact that I can destroy. I'll probably focus on Skyclave the Drum first. Oh, you wanted to play Archon here. I thought shutting off mana was important. I guess Archon also does that. Remy's last video? Yeah. Fever of Runes. If I had an Archon in play, opponent couldn't play the second spell. This is not would have come into play super mega tapped. It wasn't. Couldn't have cast a companion. I played Archon. Play one spell per turn, I can't lose. That's true. I guess no, I would have played the thing regardless because they had us. Yeah, it wouldn't have changed much. Now to draw Stoneforge. First totem. Activate abilities. Creatures can't be activated. Bye-bye, Giver of Runes. It's been real. It's been real. Well, should have protected my creature from artifact first. No, I guess not really. If they attack it. Fifth land. And attack. Wait, how does this work? Eiganjo prevents next 2 damage that would be dealt to target legendary creature this turn. It doesn't really work, right? Yeah. With a 4/4, it doesn't really work. The block, first strike, and then prevent 2 with this. I guess if I double block and they deal damage to this first, then okay, do you have a land? This is way tapped. Oh, Mango Yorion. Yeah, that's true, Yorion. I got Yorion, chat. I just shut off my brain. Brain is shut off. No more brain. Alright. I think I'm going to tech. Don't have tech edge that. No, probably not, right? I attack with my Archon. Now, next turn I can ephemerate the Skyclave. They get attacky with some Ornithopters. I'm gonna ephemerate now. Play around. Well, God Blast. The 9/2, that's pretty large. Yeah, you could have God Blast now. Nope. They don't have it. They got a 1/1 illusion. Thoughtcast. Alright, that's your spell. Man, Archon of Emeria, what a card. A rebound. You want a rebound? Yeah. I think I'll free my Giver of Runes. I can't cast a spell though if I rebound. Is that worth it? Yeah, probably. Okay, at the end of the day, not getting Yorion wasn't the worst of the punts. I mean, I guess I would have still cast it and killed the plating. But I think we're winning this game. Despite everything. Oh, pay 1. Do I pay 1? Yep. Because I can cast a spell, but I can just stop with my Archon and pass. I can Galvanic Blast it. Maybe I don't play God Blast. Yeah, I probably don't play God Blast. What I'm thinking of? I'm thinking about Popper. I'm gonna only play Popper cards. Yes, that's not true. This and this are banned in Pauper. Yes, you have Darkstone. You don't even play. What about a plating? Sure. We have another Ephemerate. To exile the... I guess I can exile the Thopter first and then the plating. Yeah, so here I exile the Thopter, and then with a rebound, I'll exile the plating. So to give them a 0/0 illusion. Okay, Stoneforge is good. I'm attacking for 2 only. Yeah, they're probably mono blue. Up Treasure Vault. Nettle Sis. Okay, we can exile that as well with Yorion. A lot of illusions for you. Only cast one spell per turn, but actually, if I blink my Archon, I'll be able to cast 2. That's cool. So here I exile Archon and Skyclave. Give you a 3/3, sorry, 2/2, and then I play Giver. And then the Archon comes. And this exiles. Mr. Pachi, thank you for the Prime sub. Mr. Pachi. Como vas, como vas? Alright, now on the draw. Means I wouldn't stand a chance, most likely. But let's believe that I do. Let's believe that I do. Opponent, just do a good old multi-4. A good old multi-4, please. Okay, I am capable. This card, you can pitch the Miracle to it. I guess that's the only good thing of that. Ginger Bruto, va bene, that's not scary at all. So, give her runes. Ready to block it. We're playing rares over here, opponent. I'm playing only commons instead. Onlycommons.com. That's my opponent nickname. Sure. Let's get our... I want to get Butterboy. Butterboy is very good. Hydra is not bad either. Last time I got Batterskull, I lost. Let's try to get Kaldra. Maybe I'll win with Kaldra. You want to exile a land? With March? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's true. I think it's fine overall that I didn't, because this is my way to kill... I guess I have 2 ways to kill the plating. But I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding it. Giver of Runes protects from colorless as well, unlike Mother of Runes. Draw. Ghost Quarter. Bene. I don't want to exile a land, certainly, right? Yeah. So I'm just playing a top land and say go here. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. I have my Kaldra that I'll use to block. It doesn't have vigilance. I'll just block. Book. I'll just book. Have I played a Neo Brand list? I have not. I got this. Yeah, my opponent draws are very underpowered. I remember having a rule that you can't keep a hand without Urza Saga or Cranium Plating. Obviously, general rule, you can have exceptions, but opponent hand doesn't seem to be a modern playable hand. Especially post Sideboard when people might have like Kataki or I don't know. General Leslie. You made it to Mythic and Limited? Woo-hoo! Yeah, we don't give Kaldra protection from black. That's the goal. Sorry, protection from colorless. That's the goal of today. They felt. Kaldra's haste? Wow, Ginger Brute can't escape Kaldra? That's a new one for me. It's time to get butter. Cool. And then we're going to maybe put together Kaldra and Batterskull to get all the strongest ability of magic minus flying. Have they done a abilities of magic power level? Power ranking? I mean, obviously they vary from constructed to limited. Alright, after a bit of a hurry, my opponent decided to take a break again. Lately, I played fast. Now, let's slow this down. Probably cast a Fairy Time Reveler right now. There's the Storm skill. No, on creatures. Abilities on creatures. And the Storm on a creature. I guess you can Ave the Ave card. That's not very good, though. Going to attack with Kaldra? No, let's stay back. 5 damage is useless. Once again, cave is worse than a plains. And I paid 4 tickets for this. Those were really the 8 tickets worth spent that I've spent lately. Even worse than Jada's Luxor gift, because I sold that card immediately afterwards. Fine, some people win with it, some people lose with it. Oh yeah, Itazugu, the Itazugu Saga, I bought it for 30 ticks, and now it's like, what, 5? That was also pretty bad. Oh, Urza Saga. It's okay, we got some Ghost Quarters, and we got March for that. Wait, I sell cards. Yeah, I sell it. When I see that the card is really terrible, I sell it. That's what I did with Den of the Bugbear. I've tried Den of the Bugbear in Modern. I saw how bad it was, and I sold it immediately. Words. For like 20 ticks. And now it's 50. Draw. Oh, un'altra bella cave. 80 cards, by the way. I'm thinking... I can attack with Batterskull here. And then I definitely have to Ghost Quarter. There is a Saga. Why should you pay for your birds? So it's strange. The Ledger Shredder, you mean? That's actually a fun one. Because, so, I bought my birds at 10 here, probably. May 5th. Around 13. I don't know, in between these two. Okay? Then what I did, I sold them when they were at 41 each. Planning on buying them again next week when they would be lower. But now they're once again at 43. So if I buy them now, I would lose money. I'm gonna wait for a few days. I mean, worst case scenario, buy the promo ones, which are... I guess they only have 2 of them. Now, I like to buy cards, regular cards. And all this foil, they don't look good to me. Yeah, but for the birds is an interesting situation. Caracas was a bad investment. I mean, it was like 90 ticks. It could never go more than up. I think in paper is fine. I bought a couple of them in paper. Paper price usually don't go down. Paper price only plateau. In paper, the prices just go up and they stay up. In online, it's way more fluctual. Why is it so high? It's very good. Another card that I actually bought for cheap. It's the Unlicensed Hearse. How much is that? Oh. Yeah, that was a good deal as well. It's now 14. I bought it for 6. Only bought 2 though. Not foil. MTG, the goat bot is a little bit off. You know, I have to go Scorcher the Saga. Yeah, I'll do that. And then I pass. When do you get wildcards for banned paper cards? It's funny how people in Magic Arena complain when they ban their cards that they don't get wildcards back. And then, like, paper players used to literally throw away affinity decks and, I don't know, ad nauseam decks when Wizards decided that it couldn't play Magic anymore. It's so bad to explain it as well. Just try to explain to a person that their deck, they can't play with it anymore. You know? And it's not even like a very good deck or anything. It's like normal deck. Very hard to say. Good morning. Flashy? They kill Lantern Control? Yeah, right. Lantern Control. Yeah. This is why this is why I hated Modern for the longest of the time. Because it was a totally unfair format where they were just banning cards every 6 months, making people lose money over and over. That's mostly the reason why I hated the format for so long. Now it seems Modern Horizons 2 has been very good. In the ban Lurrus, yes. But that didn't really make people lose that much money. I think Lurrus was a reasonable ban. Alright. Is it time to send the sword? Probably not. I guess I can equip sword somewhere. Oh, tipo qua? No. Here? No. I guess I cast Skyclave. They draw Crania Plating. You're forced to buy 4 playables every 2 years. Oh yeah, but that's different. You're forced to buy cards is the way they make money. Banning cards, nobody makes money. They only lose money. Everyone just loses. Hey, they passed. Cool. Alright, it's time to equip and do the best thing that this deck can do, which is Kaldra on a Batterskull. We did the thing, chat. I hope they don't concede so I can put also sword on it next turn. No, they conceded. Alright, still good for this screenshot. Okay. Alright, 2-2. Considering how bad I've been playing, it's not even that bad. Yeah, wall of text on the germ. Yeah, I remember when CFB was doing the bandwagon thing, and I hated it so much. I mean, I love Matnas and LSV, and of course, I am proudly sponsored by Channel Fireball. But they were like encouraging people to always go for bans, which obviously also meant encouraging wizards to always look out for bans. And then they literally made a format, Pioneer, without testing it, so no ban list, so that they could ban a card every weekend. Like, they made a format entirely for people excitement of what's gonna get banned next. And that was mind-boggling to me. Because I think that banning a card is literally like your game is failing, right? Or at least that's how I think. If you have to ban a card, it means that you aren't very good at printing them. And instead, they turned that into, it's fun. Let's see what's the next ban card is going to be. It was the idea. Yeah, I know it was the idea. But that meant we don't want to spend money for people to realize what to ban in Pioneer. So we're gonna not ban anything and let the people figure out. Which I guess makes sense. But at the same time, that just encouraged people to not buy any card because their deck could be banned. You know? Plus, their ban list was solely around the SCG in tournament week after week. So, like, if an SCG team was like, "Oh, this Winding Constrictor deck is broken," they were close to ban freaking Winding Constrictor at one point, or stuff like that. All right, so they went third one Ragavan, and I have the Solitude, but I don't think I want to go Solitude here. Huh? In general, band screw players know Watsy. No, of course, of course. Watsy's never getting screwed at any point. No, I don't want to Solitude or Ragavan. I think I'm casting like a top land and passing the turn here. I know I could go Plains to do this in their turn, the Solitude Ephemerate, but I think it's fine. Now, obviously, I'm on the draw against a Ragavan without a removal, so I'm like 30% to win. But if they don't hit like a card now, Skyclave, alright, that doesn't work, that costs double white. You would have pitched a call. Really? Because I don't have double white, I figured. I hope they don't hit a vial, right? Wow, you don't have a land? They don't have a land, chat. They do not have a land. Yeah, I think I go for a little cleaning here, huh? I go Solitude, pitch what? Leonin Arbiter? No. Leonin Arbiter is good. I'll pitch Archon of Emeria, I think. Yeah. Solitude, pitch Archon of Emeria. Then I Ephemerate so that the evoke doesn't work. And you can go. Next turn, I can go Leonin Arbiter, Ghost Quarter. Flawless victory. Preying on the opponent missing land drops. I'll go Ghost Quarter, Leonin Arbiter go. Now they can't do anything. Because if they bolt my Arbiter in response, I Stone Rain them. And they can't even fetch if they draw fetch. Of course you don't go Quarter first, because then they bolt in response. Now they can't do anything. If they bolt, and if they don't do anything, attack in the meanwhile. So I wanna play Tech Edge. I can consider passing far distant future. Oh, Khmer, I punted. Oh, sorry. Okay. I punted. I mean, one punt per game is mandatory, otherwise I can't play today. Alright, they drew another Steam Vents, okay. Okay, I was going to tutor up the sword. Alright, let's violin the sword. Let's equip on the Solitude in it. Attack with Todo. You can't really deal with this card anyway. Literally never punished. No, it was a right play, probably. Knowing that this was on top, it was a right play. Okay, Sanctifier and Vex, Burrenton Forge-Tender, probably Path, we'll see out later. By the way, it's funny that I guess I did play against Cascade, not leaving Endo. The one resting Pepegas, probably. Okay, what's bad in this matchup? Archon of Emeria is probably bad. Leonin Arbiter is probably bad. And Lion Sash. Bring it Path. Now I guess Path is pretty bad if I cut the Arbiters. No, it's okay. I'll keep Lion Sash. Cut another card. I want 3 Rest in Peace. I think I'll only have 2. Do I take out Kaldra? Yeah, I was thinking about it. Take out Kaldra. I'm most likely gonna get Sword and then Batterskull. I think it's. You wanna take out Flickerwisp? Could be. It's just that Death and Taxes player, they never cut Flickerwisp. They all play 4 Flickerwisp and never cut it. The rule if you want to play Death and Taxes. You want to play Archon. My problem with Archon and is that dies to Doomblade. Be like Pepengu. No. That's actually a good. Dragon's Rage Channeler. I think I'll start with a Burrenton Forge-Tender, ready to block, and then we go Arresting Pepegas, and then they have to win with, I don't know. I'm not gonna do Resting Pepega now, actually. Yeah, I'll just play Stoneforge, they counter it, everyone's happy. Wow, they don't have counterspell? Crazy. Sword of Fire and Ice! There it is. Wow, imagine playing Is It Murktide and not having counterspell. Eh? Boy, what are you even doing? I still don't believe they don't have it. I am not a believer. I don't want to play Arresting Pepegas here. I think they have counterspell. Keep on baiting. Don't fall for my baits. I mean, I'm happy to have a sword in play. You bolted me? Madonna mia che tristezza. That's Sedge. Ooh, that's the counterspell. Bolt me, it's Sedge. Very much Sedge. I think I'm gonna get a 3-2. Despite punting every single game. And playing one of the worst mana bays I've played in a while. Oh man, this is over. How can you win now? Double protection from red. The vault. Oh, Stoneforge. Is it? Get about it, boy. The batter, the boy. Is this matchup good? Probably. I guess opponent didn't do much. Ooh, is that a murky boy? How big? 7/7. Guess we should have a Kaldra Compleat now. I certainly want to Violent the Batterskull. Yeah, I guess we can do something like Either Thalia. Pass. Mana base works for you. Silver, the mana base works for you for sure. I just think if I played 32 planes and no Leonin Arbiter, I think I would have had a better success. Okay, we got our treasure chesty. That's a great win. Heads clap for Pepeng.